It doesn't roll up with fanfare. It doesn't scream for attention. It doesn't even announce itself with that familiar curvaceous innocence. No, this new creature arrives with the calm certainty of something that no longer needs permission to exist. It is the 2026 Volkswagen Beetle R line. Not officially born, but imagined into existence by the sheer force of what it could be. Gone is the bubbly cheek of its ancestors. Gone is the playful roundness we once associated with peace signs and flower vases. What stands in its place is a gray phantom, a car so sharply reinterpreted that it doesn't feel like a remake. It feels like revenge. The first time your eyes land on it, the effect is immediate. It stops you, not with volume, but with presence. The body is draped in a shade of gray so rich it doesn't reflect light, it shapes it. The surface of the car seems to breathe. It's not metallic, not matte, it's something in between. It shifts with your angle of view, like it's made of forged graphite wrapped in silk. This gray doesn't whisper, it murmurs. And what it says is simple: forget what you remember. This isn't nostalgia, this is reclamation. The Beetle was never meant to die as a cutesy runabout at the edge of mainstream design. It wasn't supposed to become a novelty act, not when it began as one of the most recognizable shapes in automotive history. This 2026 R-Line doesn't mock its lineage, it avenges it. The body retains its iconic arch, the sacred dome silhouette, but every other line has been sharpened, stretched, tensioned. The hood now plunges low into a gloss black chin spoiler, flanked by angular blades of LED lighting that pierce through the mist. The headlights, once friendly and round, are now squinted, narrow, focused. They don't smile, they stare back. The front fascia is devoid of clutter. No badge on the hood, no chrome, just a single illuminated VW emblem embedded within a meshless grille that looks like it belongs more to a Predator drone than a punch buggy. And beneath it, a vented splitter hints that this Beetle doesn't just want to go fast, it wants to stay pressed to the ground while doing it. There's aggression here, but it's elegant, sophisticated, a graduate of some finishing school for apex predators. Walk to the side and you notice the proportions have changed. The roofline is flatter now, but it maintains just enough curve to suggest familiarity. The shoulder line is deep, sweeping back like a single brushstroke across a steel canvas. Flush door handles blend invisibly into the doors, and slim digital camera stalks replace traditional mirrors. The doors themselves aren't just panels, they're sculpture. Tensioned at the base, rising into flared arches that house massive 22-inch turbine wheels finished in brushed obsidian. They don't spin, they cut, and they sit beneath fender flares that seem grown from the body, not added to it. There's a gravity to the car, a density, as if it's been carved from a single block of thought rather than built with parts. The rear is where things get personal. A sloping tail that no longer ends with bubbly cuteness but with knife-edge precision. A full-width LED light bar stretches beneath the rear hatch glass, terminating in sharply folded corners that bite into the fenders like folded paper. There's no rear wiper, no visible exhaust, just a subtle diffuser, a hint of a spoiler, and a glowing R-Line badge that pulses gently like a sleeping heart. And then, you step inside. The door doesn't open. It slides almost imperceptibly to greet you. The cabin welcomes you not with tech overload, but with serenity. The dash is minimal. A single floating slab of obsidian glass spans from A-pillar to A-pillar, seamlessly blending instrument cluster, infotainment, and ambience into one interface. There are no buttons, no dials, just gesture and gaze. A proximity-sensing HUD adapts to where your eyes focus, surfacing information with ghostly transparency. It's less screen, more apparition. The interior materials are unconventional but deeply intentional. Recycled basalt fiber wraps the dashboard, vegan suede lines the seats and door cards, accented by trim in dark brushed copper that subtly glows under soft indirect lighting. The seats are slim and bolstered, sporty but not aggressive. They feel more like lounge furniture sculpted for movement. And beneath you, a floor made of dark recycled oak planks coated in matte resin grounds the cabin like a cathedral floor beneath a storm. There's no traditional center console, just a floating bridge that levitates between the seats, housing a single rotary interface dial and a touchpad surface that responds to pressure with haptic vibration tuned to emotional tone. Yes, emotional tone. If you're driving calmly, the feedback is soft. If you're tense or jerky, it stiffens. The Beetle is not just reading your touch, it's reading you. Sound in the cabin isn't piped from speakers. Instead, micro-resonance nodes embedded in the pillars, seatbacks, and even the headliner create directional soundscapes. When you play music, it feels like the singer is in front of you and the instruments wrap around your spine. But more than that, the car responds with its own signature tones. Harmonics designed not to imitate engine sounds, but to reinforce rhythm, pace, and emotional state. In place of engine growl, you get resonant intention, a pulse of confidence as you accelerate, a soft exhale as you slow. Driving it is unlike anything expected from a Beetle. The 2026 R-Line is electric, obviously, but not conventional. A quad-motor setup powers each wheel independently, allowing not just all-wheel drive, but torque sculpting, the ability to shift rotational energy around the chassis based on cornering intent. It doesn't just grip, it dances. With 680 horsepower and instantaneous torque, 0-60 happens in under 3.5 seconds. But that's not what impresses. What leaves you breathless is the way it delivers. No launch drama, no theatrics, just a sudden glide into speed, like a magnetic train pulling reality towards you. Cornering is surgical. Steering inputs are read through a combination of the wheel, your eye movements, and even micro movements in your wrist. The car knows what you're about to do before you finish thinking it. It doesn't feel like piloting a car. It feels like painting speed onto asphalt. And yet when you ease back, the Beetle doesn't sulk. It inhales. The adaptive air suspension rises, the ambient lighting shifts to cooler hues. The cabin leans into comfort. Highway cruising becomes a meditative act. The exterior sound insulation is so complete you can hear your heartbeat. Your own breathing becomes the loudest thing in the cabin, and it's beautiful. In the rear, it's a cocoon. The sloping roofline doesn't rob headroom. Clever scalloped glass and carbon paneling create the illusion of space without increasing height. The seats recline, footrests deploy, light ripples across the cabin like sunlight through ocean water. There's even a hidden aromatherapy vent built into the seatbacks, chamomile, cedar, citrus, customizable through the car's wellness AI. This isn't just a ride, it's a restoration. But maybe the most powerful thing about this car is what it represents. For decades, the Beetle has lived in our collective memory as something cute, something simple, something safe. But the R-Line concept reclaims that shape and loads it with strength, mystery, emotion. It asks us, what if softness could be powerful? What if the familiar could become formidable? The Beetle R-Line doesn't exist to beat anything. It doesn't care about Teslas or Taycans or M cars or RS badges. It's not chasing speed. It's not even chasing the future. It's reflecting inward. And what it finds is a vision of the Beetle as it was always meant to be. Iconic, aerodynamic, unafraid. Reborn not for nostalgia, but for transcendence. And when you park it, it doesn't turn off. It rests. The lights dim. The suspension exhales. The glass tints from view. The R-Line badge pulses once and goes dark. You don't walk away thinking, that was a Volkswagen. You walk away wondering why no one ever dared to imagine the Beetle this way before. Because this isn't a Beetle reborn. It's a symbol reborn. And when it passes by, all you can do is whisper, there it goes.